Well, everyone, it's time for us to go and take a look at the Meta Quest 3S and see how this particular console holds up in 2025. Now, the thing I will definitely tell you is that with any of these Meta headsets, I think they're still very much worth buying. They're still very, very good. And this one is it's going to be turning a year old in like a couple of months. So this thing is still fairly young into its life cycle. And if you want to go ahead and pick up this particular headset, links will be down in the description below. You can get them from there and you can help support the channel at the exact same time. Now, one of the biggest things that I really do appreciate and love about the Meta Quest headsets is that you really feel like you're a part of a community when you're going through and buying some of these types of headsets. You don't really feel like they're like, kind of you're just in your own world. Like with Apple Vision Pro, those things are so expensive. It's hard to find other people to kind of use those or find even a development community behind them. The Meta Quests are different. They have so many different headsets. There's such a huge community behind them. And I really do love these things when it kind of comes down to it. Now, on the exterior, you get your standard type of, layout. This is basically a really good type of layout for the most part. Like I think the Meta Quest 3S does look pretty good. And like I said, if you're going to go through and pick one of these things up, you're getting your standard type of layout, but also you're getting your cameras, your pass-through that you get just like any other Meta Quest headset. With these ones, you still also get a good feeling, type of headset. So this thing is pretty thick. It's not the thinnest thing in the world, but it is still a pretty good type of layout. And I think from that side, that is actually a nice thing kind of going on here too. So you're still able to go through, strap this thing around your head. And because of its price tag for it being like $300 starting off, that is actually a pretty good compelling price tag to pay for this thing. Now, when you put this thing on, you can go and set this thing up with your Meta account. You have access to your social media apps built in like WhatsApp and Instagram and Facebook Messenger all within it already. And you'll also still get the access to kind of playing through and playing a bunch of different games and a bunch of different types of, features that are built right in. You have 8 gigs of RAM built in, and you have the Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 chipset, which is actually the same as the Quest 3. So already you're getting like a pretty good type of layout. And I do think from a performance perspective, this thing's actually not bad. This thing is about the same type of performance, I would say, as like a mid-tier phone, a mid-tier Samsung phone, maybe like a Galaxy S23 or something like that. This thing I would say is kind of equivalent. I don't know if that's 100% right. Now, I will tell you from that side, this kind of console is a really good value, right? It's powerful. It's giving you, a really good type of value from a price point perspective. There's only just a couple of things that I'm not the biggest fan of here. It is a thicker type of device. So if you're going through and you're buying this, it is going to feel a little bit thicker in your hands or on your face. So that's always going to be one of those types of caveats here. I don't necessarily think it's like the biggest deal in the world, but if you are going to go through and get, some sort of device, you are probably going to feel like this type of console, this type of headset isn't necessarily going to feel that great from that perspective. Also, there's no depth sensor. So there's not really a way to use like some mixed reality applications might not be as precise. There's no 3.5mm headphone jack. So you can still use a headphone jack in the USB-C port, but there's no way to use it via like the actual port itself. Beyond that though, it's not a better one than the Quest 3. I think the Quest 3 is better for sure, but it is more affordable and it is cheaper. So that would be a really nice thing to basically be able to buy it there. So when I kind of look at the Quest 3, the 3S in this example, I think it's a really decent value and I do think it's worth buying. But if you have a little bit more funding, I would just probably recommend buying the Meta Quest 3. I think that one would make more sense than this one, but I think the Meta Quest 3S is still completely worth buying as well. So from that side, that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.